Okay, so here's part 2 of my Beatles card collection. So, this is the next one. We have the Beatles in old-fashioned bathing suits, and they're all wearing like straw hats, straw boaters, and they're posing. And then in here, they're performing, I think, in some kind of underground place in England. I'm not sure what that is. This is just a picture of the Beatles when they were much younger. This is just a picture of the Beatles posing and hanging out. And in this one, they're just all making faces. This is the Beatles posing, and I think one of a European country. I'm not sure which country they're at, and they're at, like, I think a famous statue. This is the Beatles. It looks like they're signing autographs. And then in this photo, we got Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. And then in this photo, we just got all of them in black suits. This is just all of them like answering the telephone and stuff. I'm not sure. They're in Washington, D.C. in this picture. This is a picture of them jumping around with their instruments. This is them, I think, when they were in the U.S. In this photo, I think they're trying to catch the train. They're performing in this picture. Oh my gosh, my hand's getting tired, sorry. In this one, they're answering like the telephone. This is a picture of George Harrison and I think John Lennon performing. This one is Paul McCartney brushing his teeth. This one is the Beatles having tea. This one is Ringo Starr in a hat. This one is the Beatles performing. I think this is them getting ready for a gig. This is just all of them posing, I think, for a picture. This is Ringo holding up a self-portrait of himself. This is John Lennon eating an apple with his thumbs up. This is John Lennon and Ringo Starr giving Paul McCartney a shave. This is the Beatles. I think they're enjoying a glass of some Coca-Cola. This is the Beatles holding up a picture of themselves. This is John Lennon performing. Hopefully I don't drop my camera. My hand's getting a little tired. This is the Beatles getting ready for the Ed Sullivan Show. I think this is them getting off the plane in the U.S. This is Paul McCartney drinking milk. This is Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr performing. This is the Beatles posing with their instruments. This is Paul McCartney playing the piano and singing. This is George Harrison, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, and John Lennon. This is them in France, it looks like. This is them all with like a camera at a show. I'm not sure what show this is. This is them performing live on stage. This is George Harrison and Ringo Starr. This is the Beatles waving and a bunch of confetti coming on them. This is the Beatles all riding a horse. This is the Beatles at like a train station, I think. This is John Lennon wearing like a pirate hat. This is the Beatles performing. This is a picture of the Beatles posing. This is them performing somewhere. This is the Beatles with their manager, I think, Brian Epstein. This is just a picture of the Beatles. This is a picture of the Beatles posing. This is them again in their underground performance, I think. This is the Beatles like painting a picture. This is the Beatles posing. This is John Lennon giving Paul McCartney a haircut. This is them performing. This is George Harrison drinking Coca-Cola. This is them. I think these are luggage cart thingies. On luggage cart. This is just them posing. This is the Beatles with their instruments, I think, getting ready for a gig. This is the Beatles with their instruments. This is the Beatles. I have no idea where they are. This is them, I think, performing somewhere in Liverpool. This is the Beatles posing with all of their instruments. This is the Beatles on their break. This is George Harrison and Paul McCartney, John Lennon when they were younger. And then this is like them with, I think, Ringo Starr, John Lennon, and George Harrison, and Paul McCartney, excuse me. So that was part 2 of my Beatles card collection. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in part 3. Bye.